We've had the opening ceremony here in Anadia. Had the mayor of the city and the FIG, the representative, all with their opening speeches. It is time to get on with business, and that business is another competition here on the World Challenge Cup stage. A wonderful venue for what has been a wonderful competition so far in 2013 here in the High Performance Gymnastics Centre. An arena that was originally built in 2009, also used for indoor cycling, judo, plus fencing, amongst others. And there aren't too many empty seats in the house for this one, Stefan. They're not too far away from the 44th FIG World Cup Championships in Antwerp. What are your ambitions and aspirations for this competition here today in Portugal?
Well, it will be a very interesting competition here. We have 8 really good girls in the vault final. Kim Bui here presenting herself. We also have Jade Barbosa, we have Shusuvitina, and we will start the vault competition with Janine Berger from Germany. Berger was 4th at the Olympic Games in this apparatus, took the gold medal at the AOF 2011, won in Trabzon, Turkey.
So the scene is set once again here. Anadia. Plenty of talent here. Several high-profile gymnasts from South America are here. Arthur Zanetti, of course, from Brazil, as well as Jade Barbosa, who was on the start list for the women's vault final. How she goes in that remains to be seen, but right now it is the men who have made their way to the floor.
Yeah, and here we also have some interesting name, as I said before, Diego Hipólito, 27 years old, from Brazil, world champion 2007, Stuttgart. We also have Matthias Farig from Germany, quite interesting name here, and young upcoming Brazilian gymnast, Arthur Mariano. Here Hipólito, one of the favorites, of course, in this final.
From USA, Eddie Penev.
Eddie Penev, who used to compete for Bulgaria, is now living in the United States. Markovic, floor specialist from Croatia. Sepulveda from Chile, 2 times 4th place in the Olympics in London last year, both on floor and on vault.
From Russia, Daniil Kazashkov. De Allemagne, from Germany, Matthias Farig.
Gold medalist from Germany in Cottbus earlier on in the season, Matthias Farig. Another good performance by the German could see him in and around the medals once again here in Portugal. Again, like it has been in the women's, on the men's floor, we have had 3 different gold medalists so far in this, the 5th out of 6 in the competition. So the usual suspects, once again, Stefan, should be around the medals for the men, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. We are now just ready to start the first competitor, Oksana Shusuvitina from Uzbekistan.
Still going strong at the age of 38.
Here, coming up with her first vault. Handspring, front layout, full twist. Quite good start from Shusuvitina. She's a little bit piked in this vault, as always. Not a perfect layout position, but good power. Pretty good landing, even though she took a big step. You can see it here again, one more time. There she's quite piked. And a big step forward. They have changed the rule now on the women's side. You can land close to the sideline there on the mat. You won't be deducted for that. In the old code, she would have had a 0.1 deduction for landing that close to the white line. Second vault now has to be different, of course, from the first one, and then it will be the average score that counts as the final result for the girls. Shusuvitina had the highest score in the qualification, 14.3, but here, as always in the final, they start from 0 again.
So far in this competition, she has taken a bronze in France, and in the World Challenge Cup in Cottbus, Germany, got herself a gold medal.
Quite interesting also about this girl is that she took her first World Championships gold medal 1991, 22 years ago, and she's still going strong. 14.6, the score for Shusvitina's first vault. Second vault here, Sukahara layout, 1.5 twist. And I think this was better executed than the first vault. Shusuvitina, who competed for quite many years for Germany after moving there with her son. But she's now back from this year competing for Uzbekistan again. Pretty good second vault as well, also slightly piked, but the landing is better. Difficult score for this vault is 5.7.
So 2 jumps on the vault for the 38-year-old veteran.
Representing Brazil, Artur
Consistent start, as it always is from her.
So we have started the floor final, double piked Arabian. First tumble line for Mariano. 2.5 twist punch tucked Barani. Looking very good this far. It's a young upcoming Brazilian gymnast, 20 years old. They have a very good tradition in Brazil on the men's side on this apparatus. Straddle press to handstand. One of the composition requirements that has to be in the routine is a non-acrobatic skill. Their combination of 2 C skills, back layout 1.5 twist, punch, front layout 1.5 twist. Giving him some extra combination bonus. And the tucked Tsukahara ends the routine for Mariano. Strong performance, nice start in this floor final, and he's happy with this performance, as you can see.
He looks satisfied as he makes his way from the floor. And the crowd seem to be in agreement with your assessment of his performance. Have a round of applause worthy of any competitor in this event. So back to the women's vault. Janine Berger of Germany next up. Didn't get herself in and amongst the medals. In Cottbus she was a gymnast that the Germans there did have high aspirations for, but unfortunately for her, still yet to get herself on the winner's podium.
She's waiting for a green signal from the judges. They are probably still discussing the score for Shusuvitina's second vault. We haven't got that yet.
So the first vault from the veteran, 14.600.
Alemanha em saltos
The
from
scores
Germany.
for the Brazilian.
On vault, Janine Berger.
Now, first vault. Sukahara layout full twist. Difficult score 5.2. Meaning that the maximum score she could get for this vault is 15.2. But of course, the judges will take some deductions from the maximum 10.0 as the execution score could come up to. They will deduct the slightly piked position, the steps in the landing.
So a second attempt on the vault by the German, getting 14.600, the yardstick. A couple of mistakes on her first vault. Any chance of her so far getting anywhere near that opening score?
No, she won't be close to that score. Not with a vault with so much lower difficult score. The D scores for Shusuvitina's 2 vaults are both so high, so I don't think she will come close to Shusuvitina. 13.85 for her first vault. So the judges are ready. Green flag to show her her second vault. Handspring, piked front, half twist. I think she wanted that vault to be in a layout position. To me it was a little bit too piked. If the judges consider it as a piked front, it has a start value of 5-0.
So far, 2 ladies gone in the vault. We have to give a lot of credit to Shusuvitina, 38 years of age now, Stefan, still going strong, still committed to her training regime in this particular sport.
Yeah, she's really an amazing girl.
On floor representing Brazil.
Now
Diego
let's
Hipólito.
focus on this next gymnast, Diego Hipólito from Brazil. A whip back into a double piked Arabian to start. Coming back with a very difficult combination. Back layout, 1.5 twist, punch front layout, double twist, punch front layout, 1.5 twist. 2.5 twist, punch tucked full. By adding these difficult skills to each other, the gymnasts builds up their difficult score to get combination bonus. On the men's side, the gymnasts count their 10 most difficult skills to get up as high as they can. Back layout with triple twist and routine there for Hipólito.
Yet to get the medal so far in this competition. This Brazilian countryman Arthur Oyakawa taking the silver on the men's floor in Doha.
There one more time we see the Thomas 1.5 back layout with 1.5 twist, named after the American gymnast Kurt Thomas, who competed at the late 70s.
Thank you.
14.2 is the final score for Berger, her average score.
Solid start by the German.
Em saltos da Rússia, on
behind
vault representing
Shustovitina.
Russia, Alla Sonitskaya.
Snotnitskaya from Russia comes up now. Whoop, falling on her first vault here. A quite difficult vault. Yushenko layout, double twist, difficult score 5.8. Couldn't create enough height and enough rotation to take a good landing. So Snitskaya was 5th in the qualification with an average score of 13.775. Shusuvitina was best in the qualification, followed by Jade Barbosa, Brazil, and Macarena Adasme from Chile. That was the top 3 in the qualification, and this girl was 4th. Now she will probably drop a bit in the result list after falling on this first vault.
So the second attempt at the vault from the Russian. One fall and a step back on her first attempt. Wasn't part of the Russian side, who did ever so well in the 2012 London Olympics. Her teammate Anastasia Grishna is here in Portugal today. And that wonderful day for Russia was part of the side that did take a silver medal.
Snitskaya is first-year senior, became 16 in April. So last year during the Olympic Games she was too young to be a part of the Olympic team. To compete as a senior on the women's side, you have to become 16 during the year of the competition. A full point deduction will be taken from that fall for falling there, and the E-score drops.
So not the start the young teenager would have wanted at her first attempt at the vault. Time to take a breath and re-emerge once again for her second attempt.
13.275 for the first vault. Another difficult vault, also a Yushenko vault, starting with a round off. This time mounting the vaulting table with a half twist and then a front layout half twist. Another difficult vault from Susnitskaya.
Em solo dos Estados Unidos da América, on floor representing USA, Eddie Penev.
Eddie Penev, 23 years of age, flying the flag for USA. Born in Bulgaria, the highest qualification score, men's floor.
Very difficult start. Double layout Arabian with a half twist. Together with Sepulveda, he had the highest difficult value in the qualification, 6.4. Straddle press to inverted cross handstand. must be held at least 2 seconds to get the difficult value for the skill. And spring, front layout, 1.5 twist. There again we see Thomas, 1.5 back layout with 1.5 twist. Whoop, falling there on that difficult last tumble line, a whip back into a triple twist.
23 years of age now, Penev Stefan. Too young, too old, or still time for him to reach his peak?
He could definitely continue to develop. I think he's in the beginning of his top part of the career. Normally the male gymnasts could stay on top for 5, 8, 10, 15 years. So it's harder for a male gymnast to be really good when you are young. You haven't built up the muscles enough.
So down in third place with that score, the young Russian. We still have the 38-year-old Shuzavitina of Uzbekistan out in front.
Next gymnast now, Macarena Adasme from Chile. Third in the qualification. Starting there with the Sukahara layout full twist. Slightly bent legs. Takes a quite good landing, even though she got a bit of a rebound when she landed. There again you see the slightly bent legs. Difficult value, 5.2. And I think she crossed the white line, the landing zone as well.
So 14.175 for Eddie Penev. He looks satisfied with the scores given to him by the judges. It's good to see the supporters have come out in their numbers here today for this event. Population of just under 32,000 here in Anadia.
13.75 was the score for Adasme's first vault. 2.31 indicates that she will perform a handspring front layout half twist. And that's what we see there. Pretty good second vault. Once again, a little bit piked. Not the perfect body line. But I think she's quite satisfied with her 2 vaults here in the final.
So a solid start made by the 25-year-old from Chile. One of many South American gymnasts representing their countries here today.
Tomislav Markovic next up from Croatia. Floor specialist. Has quite many male gymnasts from Croatia and Slovenia and some of the countries around that area in Europe. Specialize on 1 or 2 apparatus. Starting here with the front layout double twist punch tucked front. 2.5 twist punch tucked front full twist. Combination of a D skill and a C skill. Very difficult vault there. Front layout 2.5 twist. There we see Thomas one more time, this time in tucked position. Straddle press to inverted cross handstand, as I said before. An example of a non-acrobatic skill that has to be in the routine. The other 4 composition requirements for men are a front somersault, a back somersault, a somersault going sideways or Arabian, and finally to end the routine with a D skill or more difficult. And here Markovic ends the routine with a D skill, a back layout with triple twist.
Another consistent performance by the Croatian. As you've touched on, Stefan, one of many fine Croatian gymnasts.
Yeah.
And a chance of himself perhaps getting a medal in Antwerp.
I don't think he really has a chance for a medal at the World Championships, but he has a good chance for a final. 13.925 here for Adasme vault.
So far, so good in the competition. It has lived up to expectations. Already in the women's vault and on the men's floor. See some solid scores. Let's hope that remains for the remainder of the competition today and at the competition's conclusion tomorrow.
We are now going into a second period of warm-up for girls on the vault. We only had the first 4 warming up and then competed, and now the second half of the gymnasts are warming up. 14.6 for Markovic floor routine. That should put him on second place this far in the floor final.
Well, at the conclusion of the World Championships in Antwerp, would we expect to see still a high talent in Stuttgart and in Glasgow, or would that be pretty much it for the season after that? We have so many fine gymnasts here, and of course we have the end of the World Challenge in Osijek. The World Championships is the one that everybody wants to be in. We still have 2 more World Cup events after this. Injuries, fatigue, tiredness must have set into the gymnasts. Will the competition still be as high with regards to its level in the final 2 events of the year?
Yeah, I think so. Those gymnasts who go for the last World Cup competitions, they have aimed for that for quite a long time. I think we can expect quite good levels from all the gymnasts, even if it's after World Championships. This is a year after the Olympic Games. We had the Olympics in London last year, and the level always goes down a little bit after the Olympic Games. Some of the top names quit after the Olympic Games, but the level stays high and goes higher and higher. Here now, the first vault from Jade Barbosa, Yushenko layout, double twist, difficult score 5.8. Strong start from Barbosa.
Indeed, it was a solid start from Barbosa. 2007 all-round world champion. Still making her mark in this competition.
Starting with the round off. Back handspring to mount the vaulting table, and then the back layout with the double twist. Good landing, and we will have one of the highest scores this far in the women's vault competition, that's for sure. Legs pasted together, landing perfectly in the middle of the landing zone. Just some small step when she lands. "22 years old now, Barbosa. It's very nice to see that more and more women continue their gymnastic career after they're 20. 10, 15 years ago, quite many of them had their peak in the career when they were like 18 or 19, and then they stopped gymnastics. But now more and more girls choose to continue for quite many years.
And I, for one, very much hope to see her still be around for the 2016 Olympics, of course, held in her home country of Brazil.
15.025, good score for Barbosa in her first vault.
Goes into first place with that score. Good opening score.
531 is the vaulting number we will have now. Another Yushchenko, half twist to mount the vaulting table, and a front layout half twist. Another very good performance from Barbosa. This could very well be the new leader in the women's vault final. Comes a little bit to the side there, as you can see. But she stays in the landing zone. Twist a little bit early on the vaulting table, on the springboard, and that's why she comes a little bit to the side.
Solo do Chile on floor representing Chile, Henrique Sepúlveda.
Here's an interesting gymnast, Sepúlveda, starting with a double back tucked with double twist. Fourth on this apparatus at the Olympic Games in London. Oops, falling on that very difficult combination. Back layout 1.5 twist, punch, double tucked front. Front layout double twist, punch tucked full. You can see he was outside of the floor area there. Cost him a 0.1 deduction. Very nice, Thomas. And the last tumble line comes here. Whip back into a triple twist. Didn't complete the twist fully there. And of course a bit disappointed after the fall on that double tucked front.
So a performance perhaps not to take him to the top of the leaderboard.
No, not today. Here we see the mistake again. Under rotates a little bit. It's very difficult to do a double tucked front coming from a back layout 1.5 twist. Sepúlveda, who was third in the qualification with a score of 15.075. Now the score will drop.
primeiro tá 15,025.
28 years old. He has had some really good progress the last 4 or 5 years. This was a gymnast that you didn't hear much about 5 years ago, but he has really showed his qualities, especially with the 2 fourth places at the Olympics in London.
Well, Barbosa looks satisfied with her activity so far on the women's vault. No medals as of yet, Cottbus, Doha or in France. Perfect place to change that stat will be here. Anadia.
Gymnast we see here is Kim Bui from Germany, 24 years old. Was 6th in the qualification with an average score of 13.762. Still want the score for Barbosa.
Em saltos da Alemanha, on vault from Germany, Kim Bui.
4-3-2 means that she will show us a Yushchenko layout full twist. Comes there, beautifully performed. Very nice first vault, very good execution, a bit low on the D score though. 5.0 is the D score for this vault, 8/10 lower than that same vault that we saw from Barbosa, who added another twist to this vault. Round off, back handspring, back layout, full twist. Very well executed.
So a good first vault by the young German. Can't be easy following Barbosa in this event. No medals as of yet.
Saudade.
14.825, the final score for Barbosa.
So Barbosa goes into first place with that vault score. Second place we have Shusavitina of Uzbekistan. A good score on the first vault. Currently in third place, 14.05. A chance to better that first score of her second vault.
Handspring front, half twist. Couldn't say from that angle if it was in layout position or in piked position. Looked a bit piked to me. Separates the legs quite much when she mounts the vaulting table. That's something that the judges see. Here you see it again. They take deductions for that. I would give that vault a piked position for taking it down a little bit too much just before she lands.
Em solo dos Estados Unidos da América, on floor, representing USA, Samuel Mikulak.
Samuel Mikulak, another American representative here in Portugal. Already seen Eddie Penev put down a marker in the qualifying scores.
And we saw Mikulak performing that same difficult combination that we saw from Sepulveda. This time performed much better, but then again he did it in the first tumble line when you are 100% fresh. Thomas in layout position. And a nice finish. Looks very satisfied with this performance.
So a performance that should overtake the score of his fellow countryman Eddie Penev. Mistakes and a smooth performance.
There again the Thomas. Mikulak, who has this apparatus together with Volt as his two best apparatus.
What's your name?
Made it to the final on Volt at the Olympic Games in London, where he finished on 5th place. Finished on 12th place in the floor competition at the Olympics, Mikulak.
Em saltos do Canadá, on vault representing Canada, Brianna Tsang.
Tsang of Canada next up in the women's vault.
Starting with a Yurchenko layout, 1.5 twist, difficult score 5.3. Quite good start.
The two Canadians have taken medals in this competition. Steingruber taking gold in France. Megan Shant taking the bronze medal in Cottbus.
This is the first time I see Tsang out competing in a World Cup competition. 17 years old. Good start for her here. She was 7th in the qualification competition with a score 13.75.
So a good score there for the American, 15.100. So the Canadian shaping up for her second attempt. Solid score in the first attempt. .275 for the first vault. Good start for Tsang. So that first score overtaking Shusavitina.
Round off half twist, front pike half twist, difficult score 5.2. landing a little bit low, a bit piked position. That will of course be deducted. But we've had some mistakes here in the vault final, and Zhang could very well climb up a bit in the result list compared to where she ended in the qualification. Didn't get a really good punch there on the vaulting table.
Em Sol da Rússia, on floor representing Russia, Daniil Kazashkov.
Former Youth Olympic Games bronze medalist in the pommel horse. About to take to the floor. The first attempt for the Russian, the men's floor.
Front layout with a double twist, punch, tucked front, full twist. DC combination. Coming back there with a tucked Thomas, and that's an example of a skill that you can do to fulfill that composition requirement, going sideways or Arabian. You can also do these Thomas skills to fulfill that requirement. Each one of those 5 composition requirements are worth 0.5. So if you fulfill all these requirements, you get an extra 2.5 to add to the D score. And you have the 10 most difficult skills that you do, where an A skill is worth 0.1, a B skill 0.2, C skill 0.3, and so on. So if you have, for example, 10 C skills, you would get 10 times 0.3, so 3 points to add to the D score. Here we have a fall in the last tumble line on the triple twist. That costs him a full point deduction.
A disappointed walk from the mat by the Russian. Still plenty of activity for him to get in and around the medals, but mistakes just crept in at the latter stage of that performance.
He finished the twist in a good way, but he couldn't create enough rotation in the back layout.
So 13.925 for Zhang of Canada. Another Brazilian about to take centre stage in the women's vault, Inez Gomez.
Years old, part of the team, Brazilian team, trying to prepare a really good Olympic Games, of course, 2016.
Em saltos do Brasil, on vault from
Fifth
Brazil,
place with that
Anadia
score for the Russian.
Gomez is starting with a very nice high Ushenko layout, 1.5 twist.
So 1 year older than Barbosa.
Takes a good landing on this quite difficult vault. D score 5.3.
Part of a strong team brought here this week to Portugal by the Brazilians. I'm sure they'll be disappointed if they don't walk away with a few medals around their neck today.
Brazil on the women's side have had help for quite many years of a very, very good coach from Ukraine, Oleg Ostapenko, who used to coach the former Olympic all-around gold medalist from '96, Podkopayeva. Ostapenko lived and coached the Brazilian women's team for quite many years, left the Brazilians to go back to Ukraine for some time, but now he's back in Brazil again. And of course, great help for Brazil in their preparation for the Olympics. Handspring, pike front, half twist. Difficult score 5-0, the second vault for Gomez.
We've just touched on the fact, Stefan, that they will have a wonderful coach in their ranks. And ambitions will be high, as he is contracted up until the Brazilian Olympics. Still a long way away, of course, but it will be interesting to see how the host nation go in this particular event.
What we've also seen from the Brazilian women's team is that they keep their girls for quite many years, up to quite high ages. Diego Hipólito's sister, Daniela Hipólito, kept going for quite many years. She was quite old when she stopped gymnastics, as well as many other of the Brazilian female gymnasts.
Matthias Farig of Germany, gold medalist in the men's floor in his home country of Cottbus. 28 years of age, still in his prime.
Beautiful height on that double piked Arabian, sticking the landing perfectly. Back layout, 2.5 twist, punch tucked Barani. Looking very good this far. Very nice handspring, double tucked front. Thomas flares up the handstand, down again. Once again up the handstand, the combination called the Gogoladze, named by a former Russian gymnast. Straddle press to inverted cross handstand. And he ends the routine there with a double tucked Arabian. Very strong performance from Matthias Farig. This could very well be a new top score.
15.100 is the benchmark in the men's floor. And another solid performance on the mat by the German. Every chance he could get to the top of the leaderboard with that performance.
Farig had the 5th highest score in the qualification, 14.925. I think this was a better performance. Slightly bent legs here in the flares, but it's a very beautiful combination from Farig. .14.112 for Nunes Gomez.
The Brazilian coach sat next to Barbosa, looking pleased with the activity so far. As we await the score for Farig, his first performance of the day. 15.175. That is enough to take the German to the top. And how happy does he look with that performance? Rightly so. Every chance of getting his second gold medal of the competition.
So that concludes the first rotation on both men's side and women's side. We've had all the 8 finalists competing on women's vault and men's floor. We are getting ready for the award ceremony in these 2 events.
Classification of the women's vault final. Barbosa with a 14.825, taking first place. Another solid performance by the 38-year-old from Uzbekistan. Shusavitina 14.512, and Nunes Gomez, another Brazilian, getting on the winners' podium with another solid score, 14.112. 2 Germans just missing out in 4th and 5th. And again, some very tidy scores given by the judges, Stefan. Vindicated so far, Barbosa coming out on top once again.
Yeah, it's very interesting and very nice to see. And of course, a great success for the Brazilian girls, having 2 girls there up on the podium now.
Well, they've paid a lot of money, as you have said, to have a good coach in their ranks. We did say that it was Farig who was good enough to take the gold, but he just, in fact, missed out. It's 15.175. Another Brazilian on the men's side, on the floor, taking a gold. And another American having to make do with the bronze medal.
And here once again we have 2 Brazilian gymnasts placing high up in the list. First place and 4th place for Brazil in that floor final.
Hippolito getting his first medal in this competition this year. As you have said, they paid a lot of money to have a good coach, and so far the performances of their gymnasts here today in Portugal have indicated the fact to splash out the money. To come after the medal ceremony.
Resultados finais da Taça do Mundo de Ginástica Artística Feminina em saltos. Final results of the Women Artistic Gymnastics on Vault. Em terceiro lugar e vencedora da medalha de bronze, in 3rd place and winner of bronze medal, Adriane Gomes.
Adriane Gomes from Brazil on 3rd place.
First medal of the competition, thoroughly deserves.
2nd place and winner of silver medal, Oksar Shusavitina.
It's another medal for the 38-year-old veteran. Taking gold in Cottbus and bronze in France.
In 1st place
to make do with a silver on this occasion.
Yeah, she's really amazing. still doing so well in all her competitions at age of 38. She is amazing. But the gold medal goes to Barbosa, who scored 14.825.
As medalhas são entregues pelo presidente da Câmara
Nice to
Municipal de
see
Anadia.
her doing so well again.
The medals
She
are
had
given by the
kind of a
presidents of
peak
Anadia City Hall.
6 years ago at the World Championships 2007. Then she dropped down a bit. You didn't see much of her. But with the Olympic Games in her home country coming up in 3 years, I think she is really pushing it hard now.
At 38 years of age, will we see this lady about to get her silver medal, still going strong in the 2016 Olympics in Brazil? Never be too surprised to see her still going strong in this event.
She would be 41 years old at that Olympic Games.
And doesn't look a day over 21, I must say. Gold for Brazil, silver for Uzbekistan. Brazilians make it 2 winners on the winners' podium, also taking the bronze medal. So the women's vault is complete.
Please stand
Smiles
for
all round
Brazil
for the 3 lucky ladies.
So now we will listen to the national anthem of Brazil.
Thank you. Resultados finais da Taça do Mundo de Ginástica Artística Masculina em solo. Final results of the Men World Challenge Cup on floor.
Here again we see the first vault from
Em
Barbosa,
terceiro
the
lugar e
Shankly
vencedor
out
da
double
medalha de
twist.
bronze. In third place and winner of bronze medal, Samuel Mikulak, USA.
So on
Em
bronze
segundo lugar,
place
vencedor da
in the
medalha
men's
de prata,
floor
in
final
second
from
place
the
and winner
United
of silver
States,
medal,
Samuel Mikulak.
Matthias Fahig, Germany.
Second best, taking the silver medal for Germany.
E em primeiro
Matthias
lugar, e
Fahig.
vencedor da medalha de ouro, in first place and winner of gold medal,
The gold medal
Diego
goes
Hipólito, Brazil.
to Brazil. Second time, 2 out of 2 golds this far here in Anadia. Diego Hipólito up on first place.
As medalhas serão entregues pelo
Brazilians
secretário-geral do
completing the
Comitê
double
Olímpico
in the
de
first 2
Portugal.
events of the day here
The medals
in
are
Portugal.
given by the main secretary of the Portuguese Olympic Committee, José Manuel
Picking up the
Araújo.
gold in the women's vault by Barbosa.
So while the gymnasts are getting their medals, I can give you some results from the qualification competition in the next 2 upcoming apparatus, women's uneven bars and men's pommel horse. Best on the women's side on uneven bars was Jessica Lopez from Venezuela, 14.575, followed by Lisa Hill, Germany, and Kim Bui, also Germany. On pommel horse. The best gymnast in the qualification was
Vamos
Max
agora ouvir
Whitlock,
o hino
Great
nacional
Britain,
do Brasil.
15.4,
Please stand for the
followed by
national
Sultan
anthem of
Kalai,
Brazil.
Hungary, and Matvey Petrov from Russia.
So Mikulak of USA, Fahrig of Germany, and Hippolito of Brazil taking the gold in the men's floor.